Yes. From one
Please.
interview to another, we're going to hear from Kiski area's record setting quarterback, Carson Heinley, in just a moment. But Flick, he was chosen once again by the Cavaliers faithful, being loud and proud this week with the voting.
Three-time Westmoreland Sports Network Player of the Week. I don't think we've ever had a three-time winner before. Either way, congratulations to Carson. Even though they lost, as you mentioned, I mean, he really couldn't have done anything else. You throw 27 passes, you throw 11 incompletions. That's pretty good, right? 16 to 27, 209 yards, two touchdowns, rushed for a touchdown, and almost rushed for 100 yards. So, I mean, he did his job, and it's great to see him continually taking steps every year and just keep on getting better. Our man Kyle Dupil, I challenged the Franklin Regional voters last week, and it was a lot closer than it was 2 weeks ago. Still almost there, but obviously a great performance by him. Two touchdowns, 217 yards. Anthony Smith, we talked about him earlier. The freshman continuing to light things up, and then Johnny Wetzel with just a very gutsy performance against Woodland Hills, also a nominee this week. Carried 34 times, two touchdowns. In that loss to Woodland Hills with the absence of Alex Tash. So, again, you can only win once a year. So, Carson will retire as a three-time winner. Obviously, we mentioned earlier, I'm going to talk to him about him breaking the all-time passing yards record at Kiski area as well. But there'll be still more chances for some of these other guys to win a Player of the Week and get a chance to be featured on Westmoreland on the Gridiron.
Well, looking forward to that interview. The third time, as you mentioned, Carson Heinley, the now record-setting quarterback of the Cavaliers. That's upcoming next, right here on Westmoreland on the Gridiron.
It is Westmoreland on the Gridiron, and it is time to talk with our Week 5 Westmoreland Sports Network Player of the Week. You've seen me talk to him the last 2 years, and now for a third year, three-time Player of the Week. He is Carson Heinley, senior quarterback now from Kiski area. Carson last week completed 16 of 27 passes, 209 yards, two touchdowns, also rushed for a touchdown as well, and broke the all-time career passing record at Kiski area, which we'll get into with him. But first of all, Carson, congratulations. I hope you're excited to be talking to me for the third time. I don't know, but thanks for coming on the show again, man. Good to see you.
Yeah, thank you so much for having me.
Absolutely. So I know it was in a loss last week, Carson, 35-30 to Franklin Regional, but man, you guys got off to a terrific start, 17-0. You hit Andrew Finney for a touchdown, ran one in yourself. You got a big field goal as well. And, you really couldn't have asked for a better start. What kind of led to that great start in Murraysville last week?
Yeah, our defense came out and got two awesome stops for us, and then our O-line does a great job of giving me time every week. And Landon Cusick, he really helps me out. He always runs the ball really hard. So that really puts a lot of pressure on the defenses.
It had to be so exciting, up 17-0, but unfortunately, as quickly as you were up, suddenly Franklin Regional scores two touchdowns, a long pass play, another pass play, and you guys are up just 17-14 at halftime, and they end up scoring 28 unanswered points to win the game. So, being up 17-0 and then kind of letting that game slide away, what do you think the biggest factor was and something maybe you're working on still to try to put that game away?
Yeah, we got a little comfortable in halftime. We didn't come out with that same fire we had. I mean, they made some good adjustments, but we still just overall we got to come out with better intensity out of half.
Well, and despite losing, I mean, you guys have been really competitive in many of the games you've played in this year. I know you lost to Penn Trafford 33-7, but it was 7-7 in the second half. Again, you were up 17-0 on Franklin. I thought you played Gateway competitively as well. So do you guys go into these games, despite only having one win, do you go into them, though, confident that you can win?
Yeah, our coaches do a really good job of getting us fired up. They always have a great game plan for us. And, I mean, we always try to look on the positive side. I mean, we're just a couple handful of plays away from winning the game. So.
Is that something when you go over, the Saturday morning film session that the
Mhm.
coaches maybe pinpoint a couple of plays, like if we did this differently, the game may have been differently?
For sure, it changes the whole verdict of the game.
Well, congratulations. You broke the career passing record at Kiski area, previously held by Josh Vick. You now have thrown for 3,753 yards,
Mhm.
and you're going to keep adding to that for sure. What does that mean to you, Carson, to be the all-time leading passer at Kiski area?
It means a lot because I mean there was a ton of awesome quarterbacks that have came through Kiski. I mean Josh Vick had big D1 offers like New Hampshire and everything like that. So I mean I really just credit my coaches and all the wideouts and my O-line for really helping me get there, because I couldn't have done it without them.
I didn't get a chance, by the way, to look Josh up. Did he? How long ago did he play? Do you have any idea?
I don't know the exact time. I mean, I know like his record hasn't been broken for a while, so like
Yeah.
I don't know the exact year though, stuff
Did
like
you
that.
have any idea going into the game that you were close?
Yeah, I did. I mean, like since last year, I was like always looking at it because I wanted to break it last year, but I broke the passing touchdown record last year, so I was like, I need the passing yards record. So I've kind of been looking at it.
Passing yards and passing touchdowns and a great
Mhm.
career for you. And obviously, some guys have helped you along the way. We look at guys like Bart Martin and Isaiah Gonzalez, but now
Mhm.
this year you kind of have a new target in Avon Shirley. Talk about the relationship between you guys who you hooked up last week to kind of keep you guys alive. Unfortunately, couldn't get that onside kick against Franklin Regional, but what makes your connection special with Avon?
Yeah, I mean, I've always knew Avon growing up. I played midget league with him and Andrew and then Avon's brother Tegan. They've been playing 7-on-7 the whole offseason, getting better, working with some special coaches like Trey Tipton from Pitt and stuff like that. And I mean, they've really stepped it up this year. I'm really proud of them. So,
So the first time we talked a couple of years ago, you were just a sophomore. Probably seems like a long time ago for you now. But you eventually got the starting job that year and you haven't looked back. And one of the questions I asked you last year was just about how you've progressed as a quarterback. So I want to ask you that again now, another year of experience under your belt. How have you kind of progressed, and maybe what are some of the things you've noticed in your game that you've gotten better at?
yeah, I mean, I've been working on my speed a little bit and stuff like that, and like obviously my strength. But like I've been going to a quarterback coach. His name's Brad Mandler. He's been really helping me put some like more zip on the ball, be a more rotational thrower and stuff like that. So he really elevated my game a lot. So
Talking with our week 6, make that week 5 Westmoreland Sports Network Player of the Week, Carson Heinley from Kiski area. A few more questions for you, Carson. What kind of legacy do you want to leave behind, and do you believe you'll leave behind at Kiski area? Trying to kind of pass it off to the next quarterback
Mhm.
at Kiski.
Yeah, I hope that all the other quarterbacks should just always be ready for their opportunity, and always like never give up because you never know when that opportunity is gonna like come your way and stuff like that, and just keep working.
Well, and now that you're a senior, I have to ask you: do you kind of, when you look back and maybe at the end of the season, you'll have another favorite game? But
Mhm.
is there a game that sticks out when you look back at your career that you can point at and say, "Man, that was the best"?
Yeah, I mean, last year against Highlands, playing for Coach A, and like he's coached at Highlands, had so many great teams at Highlands. I mean, to beat them for Coach A was an awesome win and awesome feeling to do, for Coach A.
Yeah, and I went back and listened to our interview
Mhm.
last year. We talked after it because you got that, put up that great performance in that
Mhm.
game you're talking about, and then you won Player of the Week. And I know how emotional it was,
Yeah.
for you guys to get that victory for Coach Albert and for him too. So that's pretty cool to hear about. How about your hobbies away from football? What are some of the things you like to do other than basketball? And then you
Yeah.
could throw that in there, I guess, if you want, because
Mhm.
you are a hooper. But anything besides sports that you like to do to try to get away from it a little bit?
I mean, I know it's a sport, but I like to golf a lot. I golf with my brothers and my family like that. But like during the winter, I like to snowboard and stuff like that. So I mean. I mean, one of my obviously football. Like, I mean, I just off season in the winter, I like doing 7-on-7. You know what I mean? So that's about it.
Is there any specific golf course that you really like to go to?
Oh, I feel like you asked me this last year.
Did
I
I
mean,
ask you? I can't remember what you said now. I didn't
it's
listen to
my
that
it's
part, I
my home
guess.
course, Vandergrift Golf Course. I
That's
always go
right.
there.
That's right.
Yeah, yeah.
We've talked too often, buddy. That's for sure. But I enjoy it. I enjoy it. I don't
Yeah.
mean it as a negative, but that's right. I did ask you that. Um, so in terms of college, would you like to continue playing football? I'm sure you received some interest,
Mhm.
this being your senior year. Where are you kind of at with that?
Yeah, if I have the opportunity to play at a school that I like and I want to be there, I'll play football. But I mean, a lot of schools like FCS level, they're saying like we need your senior year film and stuff like that. So I just need to keep grinding this senior year and put up a great season. You know what I mean?
Yeah, it's far from over for sure. So
Mhm.
keep putting up that good tape. One final thing for you, as you know, we always leave off our player of the week talking about your next game and your next game against Latrobe. What do you guys have to do well against Latrobe to come away with a win?
Our defense, which I'm very confident we can stop. I mean, they have a great quarterback, Wetzel. He likes to run the ball a lot. They just quarterback power with him. So if we can shut him down, I'm very confident we can put points up on the board, you know.
Carson, it was great talking to you again. Congratulations on your career, on breaking records. Keep doing what you're doing, getting that college interest, and hopefully you guys can have some success finishing out the year here.
Yes, sir. Thank you so much for having me. I appreciate it.
Absolutely. 3-time right there, Carson Heinley, Westmoreland Sports Network Player of the Week. We'll be back. We'll talk about Week 6 games here on Westmoreland on the Gridiron coming up in a moment.